Adam, here we are in your neighbourhood. It's your patch, isn't it? You're based in
Yep,
Bristol.
I live about 10 minutes from here, so it's very convenient.
That couldn't be handier, could it?
Meant I could bring a nice big monitor and actually lend my friends here monitors as well.
Oh,
So yeah, glad to be here. And
it's good, isn't it?
yeah, loving it, yeah. Haven't had time to check much out, unfortunately, but I will take a break and do that in a bit.
So what we got?
So what I've got here is a plugin that I've been working on for about nearly 3 years now. It was released last year. It's called Entonal Studio, and it's essentially a MIDI tuning plugin, and it can turn pretty much any MIDI-based synth or instrument microtonal, meaning you can tune it any way you want. You can break free of the 12 notes of equal temperament, which are these keys here. So you can break free of this grid that has been imposed on us for a long time, and
Tuning unleashed.
which is really useful actually. It's a brilliant system, but it worked really well in the days when you needed to tune a keyboard to play multiple pieces of music. But in this day and age, we have the technology with digital music making, digital software. There's no reason why we can't have finer control of our tuning.
So how does it work?
How does it work? Right, so here I've got it running in Bitwig Studio, and it's a VST, and in this case it's hosting Arturia Pigments. So this is running within the Entonal Studio plugin. This just makes it easier to retune. It's also possible to use it as a MIDI effect. It works very well in Logic as a MIDI effect or Ableton. And we've got a bunch of different scales you can choose from with some descriptions, and we have the scale editor on the right, so you can go in and edit any of these intervals. A lot of the scales are based on just intonation. You can also create equal division of the octave type scales by just typing that number in, and then we've got now we've got 31
so
divisions.
You can create your own scales completely?
Yeah, you can create your own scales completely, complete freedom. So one of the features, one of the more recently added features, is called the lattice, and I'm going to do a little demo of that right now. So here is, so this is an example of a tuning lattice, and this is also a slightly unusual scale.
So how does it laid out? What does it represent?
So, you know what, I'm going to start with this scale because it will be easier to understand. So here we've got a scale which is constructed with, right, so this is in beta, this feature.
Yeah.
This allows, so here I've got a launch pad here, and I can map. If you watch that, I'm dragging this note here, it's landing there, watch there, and it's just appeared. So now I can play that note at that position.
Right.
Now, the reason I'm showing you that is because it's mimicking the pattern of this lattice. It's called the tuning lattice.
Okay.
And it's a geometric representation of a musical scale. What I mean by that is each dimension is a particular harmonic. So in this scale, horizontally, we have fifths, and vertically, we have thirds, major thirds. And this has really interesting properties. So if we play an L shape, that's the major chord, a pure major chord. And if we play the upside down L, that's the minor chord. And we can move these shapes around, so you can create any shape on the lattice, and it's like transposing it.
It's going to be consistent with that shape and the
exactly.
tuning
It's the same harmonic structure.
Wow.
And this kind of opens up creative freedom when you can, because you're like, you kind of know where you're going. You can traverse this space in terms of the type of interval. So it opens up a lot of creative freedom as opposed to the 12 notes of the keyboard. I want to show you something that's a bit unusual now. I'm going to switch to this, this scale, which is based on the 7th harmonic. So this is similar to what we've just seen, except so we've got fifths going across, but up and down is the it's the 7th harmonic, which is unusual to our ears. So although it's not out of tune, it's unusual. So it's opening up a lot of possibilities, and in this case, this is a possibility that does not exist in our common equal temperament system. So going back to, what does Entonal Studio do? It allows you to use these kind of tuning systems with pretty much any synth you can throw at it, with the caveat that ideally it should be a synth that supports MPE, which is the reason I've chosen Arturia Pigments. You can also tune any synth that supports MIDI, but it's limited to monophonic. So if you've got a synth that's really good for bass patches, but doesn't support MPE, that would be fine as well. It also supports MTS ESP for synths that support that. And just hot off the press, since yesterday, Entonal Studio is now available as an AUV3 plugin on iOS. So here I've got it running in Ohm. It might be too fiddly to do an audio switch at this point.
That's all right. We'll just take it as read that that's going to work. But
yeah.
It's literally hot off the press.
Yeah. So
Finished
hot off
yesterday.
the press. Yeah. So now it's running. There's a sequencer running in Ohm here. We've got a couple of sequencers going into basically Entonal Studio running on iOS, and it's currently on offer for $10 or £8.99 until the end of October, at which point it's going to go up to $20. So grab that while it's at this price. So that's Entonal Studio.
And where can people find more information? Where's the website?
So the website is entonal.studio. The price of the plugin is £79 or $95.
Excellent. Many thanks, Adrian. Thank you.
Great. Okay. Yeah, well, thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. Great to be here.
You're welcome, mate. Good luck.
Thanks.